Patrick Beverley had some interesting words when talking about the future of Anthony Edwards with the Minnesota Timberwolves. In today's video, we're going to give you the quotes. Sounds like he may be out of there in a couple of years. And then we also have a trade idea at the end of today's video. As you're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports, I'm your host, Marshall Green. I do have a little bit of a bone to pick, though, with all the real ones out there. I love the way that this channel continues to grow, and it's a credit to you guys. Up to 27.2 thousand strong that are subscribed. But only 3.7 thousand people have their notifications turned on, and that pisses me the hell off. Change it right now. Go down right now, hit the big bell icon, and select all. That way you never miss a video here on New York Knicks Now. Let's dive into it. This is what Patrick Beverley said on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. He was asked about Anthony Edwards and what's going on with his future in Minnesota, and Pat Bev said this, quote, "He will get out of Minnesota. That's just what happens. I played in Minnesota. It's no diss on Minnesota. No diss on little markets. It's just that personality. He could change the world, but he is the type of player that you need to see him. You need to see him. And there's no way Minnesota should have 9, 10 nationally televised games right now." Look, I don't know if we're going to call Patrick Beverley a credible source. They did play together, I believe, in the 2021-2022 season. The play-in win where they jumped on top of the scores table and celebrated like Kobe did when he beat the Boston Celtics in Game 7. That was crazy. But let's be kind of honest with ourselves. Anthony Edwards just signed a 5-year contract extension with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Does that mean he's going to be there for 5 years? No. Does it mean he wants to be there? No. It means he wants the bag and he wants the guaranteed money. Is it impossible for him to be traded? No. Is it likely? TBD at this current moment. I do know this. It's not going to happen soon. Anthony Edwards is going to be a member of the Minnesota Timberwolves right now. I wouldn't even be shocked he's a part of the Minnesota Timberwolves next season. But I do think we could get to a point where Ant does want to go and leave Minnesota. Remember when the Minnesota Timberwolves traded for Rudy Gobert? Anthony Edwards liked a comment on Instagram of a random person that said, "I will never forgive the Timberwolves for making this trade." Anthony Edwards liked that. And Rudy Gobert looks cooked this summer in the FIBA World Cup. And I don't know if anybody actually even likes playing with Rudy Gobert. I do know this. Sometimes the fish is too big for the pond. And I think that is what Patrick Beverley was trying to get at. Because Anthony Edwards can be the face of a franchise. He may even be the face of the NBA in 5 years. And does he want to do that in Minnesota? Look, Kevin Garnett did 12 years with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he got to a point and said, "I'm done here." And he was the guy that repped Minnesota hard. He loved being a Timberwolf, but it got to a point where they couldn't put the pieces around him. He wanted to get more exposure, more endorsement deals, and more importantly, he wanted to win a championship. And that's why he demanded a trade to the Boston Celtics. I'm not going to be shocked if we look back at a couple years from now and that same type of situation unfolds with Ant. I'll ask you this question after we just broke it down. Does Anthony Edwards ever leave the Minnesota Timberwolves, or will he retire a T-Wolf? This is the question, though. Will he ever leave the T-Wolves? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let's talk about the player that he is and what he's done in his young NBA career. He's going to be entering his 4th season in the association this upcoming year. I mean, the guy came into the league as the number 1 pick out of Georgia, averaging 19 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 2.9 assists. Low efficiency numbers, and that's expected from a guy that's 18 entering the NBA. But he's gotten better and better every single year. 19 points to 21, 21 to 24. Field goal percentage up to 41 to 44, then 44 to 45. And what I like the most about him is he's a prime time player. The guys that shine the brightest when the lights are the brightest are the guys that I want on my basketball team. And in the 11 playoff games he's played over his career, he somehow raises his level of play. 28 points per game, 4 assists, 47% from the deck, and then a scorching 38% from downtown. Anthony Edwards has superstar potential. He's already a star in this league. I don't think there's a lot of superstars in this league because my definition of a superstar is different than a lot of people. If you can be a number 1 option on a championship team, That makes you a superstar. There may only be 7 or 8 guys. That number may even be too high. There's only a handful of guys that I think can do that in this league. And I think Anthony Edwards has the potential, the talent, and the drive and the heart to be that guy down the road. He could be the face of a franchise. But it goes deeper of how effective Anthony Edwards is than just the field goal percentage, the three-point shooting. Like when you look at the advanced analytics, the dude is a bucket. He shoots 41.7% on catch and shoot threes. The dude can create his own shot, 33.8% on pull-up threes. When he's less than 5 feet from the basket, he knocks it down at a 61% clip. He's one of the biggest, strongest, fastest, most athletic players in this league. I may get some flack for this. He reminds me of a bigger, stronger Dwayne Wade. That's the vibe that I get from him. Less than 10 feet, he's almost automatic, 57%. But on the defensive side of the court is what I love about him. He was top 5 in the NBA this past year in deflections per game, and he also averaged over 1.5 steals per night. He will draw that responsibility of guarding the other team's best offensive player. And that's what you want. And that's why Anthony Edwards is a player that you go all in for. You push all the chips to the table because the dude just turned 22 years old. You can build your franchise around him. You can have him be the heartbeat of a team that's aspiring to be an Eastern Conference champion, get to the NBA Finals, and hoist the NBA trophy and be NBA champs. That is a potential scary, scary player when you pair him alongside Jalen Brunson and a Bulldog in Josh Hart. And I'm just positive that there is no way, no how that Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart are not recruiting Anthony Edwards. I'm sure they've never been like, yo, bro, me, you, Hart, and NY at MSG doing the damn thing. I'm sure there's been no talk of Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart recruiting any players with Team USA. If they are, which they aren't, this is the guy you go after. He's wearing number 10 for Team USA for a reason. This is why you acquired all those picks, though, Leon Rose. Not necessarily for Anthony Edwards, but you stockpiled all these picks. You have 8 tradable first-round picks right now. You have so many picks in the chamber. So when a player, a superstar, a star becomes available, you've positioned yourself in a spot to be at the top of the league in packages that could be presented. And the Knicks have done that. They have 4 potential first-round picks in 2024, 2 potential in 2025, 8 tradable first-round picks at the moment, and 10 first-round picks in the next 7 years. They have control of all of their first-round picks right now, as well as other first-round picks from other teams. On the flip side, you're probably going to have to use all of those picks because this isn't going to be cheap. The Minnesota Timberwolves are not just going to give you Anthony Edwards for a trade package like Bradley Beal just went to. It is going to potentially be one of the biggest trades in NBA history. We saw what Rudy Gobert went for. The Timberwolves, they gave up a lot of their future and draft picks. They could try to recoup some of those picks, which would be dumb in my opinion if they ever do decide to trade Anthony Edwards if he does request a trade. So what's it going to look like? Yeah, it's going to be a lot. I think it would cost you R.J. Barrett. I think it would cost you Immanuel Quickley. I think it would cost you Quentin Grimes. I think it cost you a minimum 3 unprotected first-round picks, and I think it cost you a minimum of 2 protected first-round picks. 5 first-round picks, 3 unprotected, R.J., Quickley, Grimes. Is it a lot? Yes. Would I do it? I'll tell you in a second. You tell me, would you do it? Would you make the deal? If you were Leon Rose, if you were Worldwide West, if you were a part of the Knicks front office, would you pull the trigger on R.J., Quickley, Grimes, 5 firsts, 3 of those unprotected? Type A for accept, type D for decline. Sound off for me. Let me know because I'm curious what you guys think. I'll tell you what I think in a second, but you guys got to get hooked up with our awesome Real One Chat Sports t-shirts. We've got the OG blue. We've got the new black ones. Go to this link, chatsports.com/realknicks. This season is just around the corner, and I need you guys repping not only the Knicks, but the real ones. Knicks Now by Chat Sports. Scroll down in the comment section, click the link, get your shirt today. Maybe got some deals on the site for you right now. Wasn't supposed to tell you that, but take advantage of it before the deals are gone. One more time, chatsports.com/realknicks. Scroll on down. It'll be in the comments and description. Just click it. A wise man once told me, you got to push your chips into the table if you want to make money. Scared money, don't make money. And it's a lot, no doubt about it. You're trading a whole lot of players. 3, I think franchise building blocks in RJ, Quickley, and Quentin Grimes. You're also trading 3 unprotected picks. But it's tough to say no. You have to admit it would be tough to say no. Anthony Edwards just turned 22 years old, and he's already, a top 20 player in this league, top 25 player on this league, potentially the best player on Team USA. It would be tough to say no. I would say, though, that, I would like to keep Immanuel Quickley in the deal. I'd love to be able to trade it for Anthony Edwards for cheap. But that's just not how shit works in this league. If you want to get something good, you got to give something up that's good. And Immanuel Quickley's good. Quentin Grimes is good. RJ Barrett is a young piece that has a lot of potential. Already averaged 20 points in this league 2 times. It costs to be the boss. And I'll tell you this much. Brunson, Ant Edwards, Josh Hart, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Dante DiVincenzo, Isaiah Hartenstein. You would still have 5 first-round picks over the next 7 years, 1 unprotected. You could continue to add piece to piece to piece to this team. Scared money don't make money. Also want to let you guys know that our Las Vegas Raiders report host Mitchell Renz is getting a full leg sleeve tattoo live on the Raiders report. And I want you to go watch it and see him cry tears like he did when we beat him in a super chat battle. The link to the show is in the comments. Thumbnail looks just like that. As always, you can give me a follow over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. The Twitter's been going crazy, and you guys should be a part of it because I want to talk more Knicks hoops over there. Give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_.